But for me, I definitely want to highlight Andrew Blackwood's third pull. Alex, you were there. Frank, before we get into it, can you throw Andrew's lift up on the screen, please? By the way, guys, I forgot to introduce Frank. Frank, I'm sorry. So we have Frank.
He's waving. You can't see that.
So we have Frank on the desk on the computer behind us. Frank
IT
is our
guy
IT
extraordinaire.
guy. He sets up everything here. We actually wouldn't have this without Frank. So Frank is actually arguably the most important piece of this machine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Frank, I apologize for that. I think we were all just a little bit startled in the beginning. But yeah, thanks very much to Frankie. Some people like
Thanks,
to call him
Frank.
Spoons. But
Francois.
whatever he likes to go by.
Francis.
Maverick Media. So yeah, this one, Frank, the one 6,007 likes.
120 kilos for Andrew Blackwood from Ireland, still fighting for podium. Unfortunately, just struggling with some grip issues there. And now 3 deadlifts remaining. Andrew Blackwood from Ireland, in his last competition as a junior, missed his second on grip, 320. Has jumped 15 kilos anyway in an attempt to fight for deadlift bronze, but more importantly to get a bronze medal at his final competition as a junior.
He's going out on his shield, Amelia. 15-kilo jump on a missed attempt.
It's all or nothing.
Let's
And
go
he
in.
gets it moving. Can he hold on to it? He can. Absolutely incredible. Andrew Blackwood,
that's
ladies and
like-
gentlemen. 3 white lights, a good lift, and can you
Look
believe
at
it?
that. Look at that.
Team Ireland go crazy, the crowd go crazy. And can you blame them?
That's it, Frankie. Nice one, brother. So yeah, guys, like that for me is strength sports. That's power. That's the community. Like, what a ballsy move. The guy goes from pulling hook grip, pulling mid grip. Alex, talk us through it. We know a little bit of the backstory, but definitely
just walk you through. I suppose
walk us through it. The whole thing, like,
easiest way to do it. Walk you through the day. Yeah. So obviously this is Blackwood's last junior competition. I think he was actually one of the first people I met at my first international comp, and I've handled him at, like, I'm pretty sure every single one of his junior, like, career from start to finish competitions. And he's also one of my really close friends, so this was obviously a big deal. You know, this is one of the first ones where we were looking like we were coming in with, like, on prognosis to be, like, on the podium pretty much. And I rocked up that morning, and I was pretty buzzed. It was going to be the last session of the week, so, like, super long week. It was going to be the last session, best session pretty much I had in my head, you know. And I rocked up and I started talking to Blackwood, and he was just like, I feel like shit. Like, he's like, straight away before we even got under a bar, he's like, I thought I was going to pull out this morning. I was like, I haven't slept. You were there, obviously. You remember a lot of people. There was a big virus going around, so a lot of people got sick. Over in Czechia. So unfortunately for him, he ended up getting sick the fucking night before his competition. So he said he was getting no sleep. Just felt terrible. Thought he was going to pull out. Like, barely eating. Just cold sweats all night. Like, it, you know, from the get go, it was terrible. And I was kind of like, okay, fuck. Obviously, you know, my job is to just try and keep the person's head in it and just make sure that they do what they're able to do on the day. You know what I mean? You don't want to try and make somebody overreach either or over push them. But it was kind of one of those things where it was like, this is like, strength hasn't disappeared. You know, I don't care how sick you are. It's not like it goes anywhere.
Yeah, you're
over
peaked right
24 hours. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's fun. We start warming up. He does 70, same as always on squats. And then he does 120. And Andrew puts the racks in and grips really wide. And he does 120, smokes it, obviously, because he squats like over 300. And he goes to re-rack the bar, whatever way he racks it. He actually catches his thumb in between the bar and the Eleiko rack. And, like, I mean to say, like, slices his thumb. Like, it's not even like it's a little cut. It's like sliced the whole way down, like deep cut. I have a video, I'll show you later, but it's on my phone. It's like, because I take a video of like we went through like 4 plasters or like fucking tissue everywhere, blood everywhere. Like, I have a video of him warming up at 170 on squat and just like a pile of bloody tissues. Because I was like, I have to take a video of this because no one's going to believe me. You know what I mean? I was like, this. So obviously immediately from there, like, the first thing that goes through my head is like, we're battling for podium and he pulls hook grip and he's got no thumb. You know, so I was just like, fuck. So from the get-go, I was like, this is like, you go from the bar to 120 and it goes from like this is gonna be a bad day to this is gonna be a really fucking bad day.
Yeah, this is over.
But the thing is, for me as well, I don't know. Maybe it's because I know him so well. I genuinely still had faith in him the whole time. I was like, he'll do it. You know what I mean?
He's that guy, though.
He is.
He's
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah. And I was saying that to him as well. And like, I don't. As you know, I don't blow smoke. If I say anything to anybody, I mean it. I mean it. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes as well. But yeah, but yeah. So yeah, I just kind of remember talking to him and telling him I was like, look, I promise you, basically, no matter what, we're gonna get a podium today. And I really did believe that. Like, I wouldn't have just said it for no reason. So we went down. Squats went the way they did. That was a roller coaster as well of emotions. Missed his opener. Normally I wouldn't go up with anybody anyway, but Blackwood's been around long enough that I had faith in him to do so. So it's okay. Yeah. So we still jumped to 300 because it was because we were in contention. It was one of those things where you can't afford to just take your opener again. Like, you really can't. You have to go up to stay in the race. So we went up 300, got that. It was completely normal. Took a more conservative jump, went to 310, which was like 2.5 kilo below what he finished at Worlds. So it was kind of like, it was like a banker, like, you know, it was like, we have this. Yeah. And then it was, he squatted it 2-1, 2 reds. I had to sprint over to the jury and they pretty much overturned it straight away. So it was like, you're from like opener and squat, it was just, we're already feeling terrible, fucking replacing the plasters on his thumbs, like every attempt. It was ridiculous. So, roller coaster of emotions. Finally got third squat. We were officially in the race. Went through bench. Bench is just bench. No one cares. We just cruised through 3 for 3. Chill.
Yeah, get it on the board.
Then we're warming up for deadlifts. And, you know, the thing I'd been dreading all fucking day pretty much. And I'd said it from the start of the day. I was like, I think you should go hook grip. Mixed grip. I was like, I think it might just be the way to go. Like, if you just start warming up with it. Like, when you've got no thumb, you have more of a chance of pulling it mixed grip than hook grip, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you need a thumb for me.
That was where I was kind of going with that. So I think we're warming up, and he's like, as in, I literally seen this dude wincing with 220, and I was just like, oh, fucked. So I think we'd only like 5 minutes left, change openers, and he's opening like, I think it was like 312 or 315 or something like that. Yeah. And I kind of just walked over and I was like, look, I think we should drop the opener, just put something on the board that we can get. So then we can kind of, it still gives us that kind of chance to actually still battle for something, because you're not just worried about getting your opener 3 times, you know, in that kind of sense. Yeah. So dropped it to 300, just a number I know he could probably double overhand any day of the week, you know. And Jesus. And so he got that, smoked it, jumped 320. You could see like his thumb was getting worse as the reps were going on. Like, even warming up, we were like, just do 1 rep of everything. Just don't even fucking let your thumb get any worse than it is. Did 320, failed it. Like, literally, he was just like, my thumb's gone. And we kind of went back into the warm room, and he kind of just looked at me, and he was like, mixed grip? And I was like, man, like, what the fuck do we have to lose, you know? And I think he said it to me afterwards as well. He was like, can we take 320 again? And I was just like, nah. Like, I was looking at the board, and I was like, if you're gonna, like, I remember like saying something along the lines of like, if you're gonna fail something, it might as well be fucking worth it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
something with a chance.
Like, if you failed 320, and you're in the exact same position you would have been. Like, at least let's load something up and see what you can do, you know? So we decided after his 320 fail, fuck it, we go mixed grip. I think I put in like a placeholder at the time, and then we all ran into the warm-up room. And we just started teaching him mixed grip at 120. So it's like, just like if anyone saw us, like, it was one of those things. Like, nobody even had us in the race. Like, it was like, oh yeah, he's definitely failing. Because they're like, all the lads in the warm room knew, all the other coaches knew that he sliced his thumb from squats. And it was kind of like, I would have been the exact same. If I was looking at the board and there was a lifter we were against and just failed his second, and his thumb was fucked. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we taught him mixed grip for, like, he said he hadn't pulled mixed grip like ever. Like, he literally used to always do double overhand, then he just swapped straight to mixed grip, hook grip. So he's never really trained mixed grip. He was like, I haven't done it in like 8 years. You know?
Wow.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, so obviously I was incredibly stressed. I was like, you know, I think when you're a coach in that situation, the last thing you want to do, especially when it's somebody's last big competition, is essentially put on like the wrong number. That's the biggest fear ever as a coach all the time, right? And then it's like, you know, then you have to kind of have that conversation with yourself when somebody's trying to get in the zone. You're like, do you tell them what's going on? Do you know? Do you want them to know? And then he might turn around and be like, oh, I don't want you to do that. I want to just, you know, pull for a PB or just like get a deadlift, you know, in that kind of way. So it's kind of like, right, I'm just going to take this into my own hands and just kind of do what I think he would want me to do, and that would just be put a ballsy third on the board and just fucking pull for podium. Wildest thing as well, like that was 335. He needed 340 and he would have came second as well. So I look back at that as well. I'm like,
yeah, like,
you know,
I think he'd have had it.
I think he would have had it as
I
well.
think he could have put
like
anything on that bar.
his max ever in comp is 337, and like that looks pretty solid. So yeah, and then I remember we were going out and I was like, I think it was Andrew Rowe said it to me, and he was like, percentage wise, he's like, how much do you think he actually has this? And I was like, honestly, like 2%. I was like, if even. I was like, I've got faith in this guy, but I was like, to come and change to essentially hit your max with a different grip that you've never trained before.
Yeah.
You know, in a really high pressure situation, I was like, I think 2% was me being nice as well. You know what I mean? Like I had all the faith in the world for him. Like I really did. You know, it was really one of those ones where you're like, fuck, it could happen, you know. And yeah, he walked out, just changed the grip, and it just started moving, and it kept moving, and then he got it, and I was like, what the fuck?
It was incredible.
Yeah, and then immediately he came back, and me and Andrew just both started fucking crying. Like tears of joy, obviously, but like, you know, I feel like I was like, I'd seen him go through it all, and then all the prep and the day that was involved as well. It was super, super emotional. I think as a lifter as well, I can definitely too empathetic with people, and I can put myself in their shoes. And I know how much that would mean if that was me. So obviously I just get emotional as well because I'm a loser. But
no,
you know,
I
it's
think
because I care.
Like I think that's the essence of the sport for me, was moments like that. But I mean, what a way to go! What like that's movie
so it was
stuff.
like first ever international total podium. New national record, broke Barry Piggott's 120 record.
Like what a record to break.
Of all
people,
absolutely, you know, like because I remember even saying that at the very start we had a conversation. I was like, Joe, what do you want from today? You know, that's a big question I always ask people when they come in, and like, if they are in contention, like, what's more important to you? Is it, you know, hitting a PB, or is it going to be getting on a podium or a medal in an individual lift, whatever? Yeah. And he was like, he was like, you know, I'd obviously love the podium, but he's like, I'd really way prefer just a total PB, you know, just come off on a high, and, you know, knowing that I've achieved the highest I could in my junior career. I remember just being like, why don't we just do both? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, we can do that. Let's just do both. Let's get you on a podium and get you a total PB. And we did. Yeah. And it was great. It was like, honestly, probably
that's peak
from the top three, like, you know, most stressful, enjoyable, emotional flights I've ever been a part of in powerlifting.